Given the nature of my photography, I use my tripod a lot. In fact, I would consider it one of my most valuable pieces of equipment. And I often find myself throwing it over my shoulder. Mostly for when I'm posing for one of those photos where I want you to think I'm a really badass landscape photographer. You know the ones I'm talking about. Every landscape photographer who's ever lived has this photo. It's them trudging through the wilderness, staring deep off into the distance, tripod slung over their shoulder, looking like they're going to conquer the new world. And that's so when you go to their website, you know they're the real deal. So in order to keep my shoulders happy, I like to work with a padded tripod leg. Now you can go online and you can get some pre-made tripod leg wraps, but they're going to run you about 50 to 60 bucks. And not only that, I think they will still be able to rotate on the tripod leg. So in other words, if you're holding onto your tripod and you're trying to tighten down a leg, it's just going to keep spinning. That would drive me insane. So I need a tripod leg wrap that stays secure to the tripod, doesn't spin or rotate or anything like that, and it needs to be a lot cheaper than 50 to 60 bucks. So I'm going to show you today how to make leg wraps for all three legs. That's going to cost you about $4.50 worth of materials. So here's what you need to get. First off, you got to pick up some foam pipe insulation from your local hardware store. These come in different diameters. I get one that's 7/8 of an inch inner diameter. That's the perfect size to fit over my tripod leg without being too loose. This will cost you about $1.50. Then you need to get some athletic tape, specifically Mueller brand athletic tape. I've tried other brands and nothing beats this. It has the perfect combination of grippiness, softness, and doesn't leave a sticky residue. The last athletic tape I bought that wasn't this brand was all gunky and sticky, and I never wanted to touch my tripod. So I recommend getting Mueller athletic tape. You can pick up a 6-pack of this on Amazon for about 16 bucks. You're probably only going to need 1 or 2 rolls, but I like to get the 6-pack because I tend to redo my legs every year or so. Then you're going to need a razor, it's a standard razor, and scissors to cut the tape. So let's get to it. Okay, so first we need to cut this down to length. So just line it up against your tripod leg and cut it a little short. Leave about 1.5 inches or so. Use your razor to cut into it. Now cutting it is pretty easy. Just lay it down on a table, stick your razor in, and then just rotate the pipe insulation until you make a full clean cut. All right, there we go. Now this foam insulation has a slit down the middle that needs to be opened with your razor. There we go. And then this is going to wrap around it just like that. But we need to taper these edges because we don't want it to be such an abrupt cutoff. We want it to fade out. So using your razor, we're just going to shave off that corner here so it's got a little bit of a taper. Now before we can just put this on the tripod leg and start taping it up, we have to lay down some tape underneath the foam pad, and that's to give it just a little bit of grip so that it doesn't spin as easily on the slippery bare tripod leg. And I'm just going to do 4 stripes of it here. You can actually see I have residue from the last time I did this. All right, now that we got some grippy base laid down, we can put the foam pad over it and do it so that the seam of the pad is on the inside. Line it up where you want it. And then what we're going to do is just start wrapping tape around it, almost like a hockey stick. But this is very important. Start from the bottom and work your way up. Don't start at the top and work your way down. And that's because if you start from the top and work your way down, you basically get a reverse shingle effect. So they're laying on top of each other with the seams pointing upwards. And that's not good simply for moisture, but mostly so that your hands aren't constantly lifting up the tape as they push down on the tripod. So you want to start at the bottom so you get a proper shingle overlay all the way up. And be sure to tape the very bottom to the tripod. This is why we cut the foam a little short. This is what's going to prevent the foam pad from sliding up or down. And pull a really tight line on your tape here. Really compress that foam a bit. And of course, be sure to overlap the tape on itself as you work your way up. Once I get to the top, I like to go back down to the bottom and just do one round of tape. Not all the way up, just a couple of spins, just to clean up the bottom a bit. There we go, one leg done. And then repeat on the rest. Ah, yes, yes. Very nice, very nice. Yep, so there you go. No spinning, nice and tight on there. Grippy, but not too grippy. And yeah, good on the shoulders. So there you go. That's how you make some $4.50 tripod leg wraps. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.